Hello everyone, I'm Labuni Dattaroy, a student from Pune, India. Ever since I was a child, I've always been interested in art and craft. I took right to markers and crayons the same way a mother does to her newborn. Little did I know back then that a box of crayons would be a constant companion throughout my 18 years of life. I'm someone who has spent a lot of time creating art and wanting to be an artist. Yet, I always had an ongoing beef with the art world. Part of it is because I doubt my own abilities as an artist. Is this painting actually good or useful? Or am I just having fun throwing around a bunch of colors on a piece of paper? I was often indirectly told that being an artist was a financially unstable career path, and I understood why being an independent artist may be difficult. And second is because art as a concept is somewhat held on a higher pedestal by those who usually produce it. People from the art world deem themselves as elite or superior to others. You can come across articles of critics dissecting a painting, discussions about its brilliance or meaning, or capturing the essence of an art piece hours on end. But when you place yourself outside of these conversations, suddenly you become hyper aware of how pretentious, pointless, empty, and maybe even stupid they are. So, a question that had unabatingly plagued me over the years was, is art stupid? And to be honest, the more I thought about it, the more I was convinced. Art is stupid. I once watched a YouTube video by Click for Taz in which she faked an art gallery exhibition. She called a few of her YouTuber friends to create childlike masterpieces, made her personal banner for the event, and placed cameras to record everyone's reactions. The whole idea was to test if people actually fell for fake art. And the result was surprising. Not only did people believe it, but also bought a few of the paintings. One guy even quoted £1,100 for one painting. All the proceeds from the event were donated to a cancer hospital. But this just seemed too hard to believe. Even though it was for a good cause, it ended up being fatal for my self-esteem, and I began to doubt my understanding of art altogether. And so I decided that I had to test it out for myself. I needed to know if people really fell prey to such art pieces. I sent this image to my friend from my camera roll. She is an aspiring design student, and I wanted to see if I could fool her. I edited the image to make it look believable and texted her asking what she thought of it. And the answer that followed left me shocked. Her reply: I think the red color signifies anger or resentment. The black probably reflects the darkness about the base. The golden streaks show fire, as though they're trying to light the swastika symbol on the center on fire. Maybe it's a negative critique on Nazism or something? I don't know. And when I read that, I was in tears. You know why? That's actually just my used acrylics palette, which has a weird design in the middle. She believed it. She fell for it. We did have a good laugh about that later, but it left me questioning everything I thought I knew about art. That was just a prank. But surely not all modern art is just for laughs, right? So I set out on a mission to find actual good art. I wanted to be proved wrong. I needed to be proved wrong. So I probed the internet for some of the greatest painters in art history. And some of my lost confidence was regained. There are truly talented people out there. The work of Vincent van Gogh, Johannes Vermeer, and the like is simply awe-inspiring. Except, during my research, I stumbled upon this. Now, this is entirely just my opinion, but it's not that different from this zoomed-in cutout from my dirty palette painting, is it? Yet, Wand is by the famous German visual artist Gerhard Richter and was sold at Sotheby's for 21 million US dollars. You want to know how much my rendition costs? Essentially nothing, because I'm just going to peel off that paint and get rid of it. To me, that is trash. But to the critics of Richter's painting, it showed animated dynamism, an astounding chromatic intensity, and remarkable prescience of a time that is yet to come. And please tell me this isn't funny to you. This extremely postmodern and pretentious way of looking at things was just alien to me. Sure, there is some beauty to it. I would love to hang that painting in my room, but at the end of the day, you can't deny that it's just some paints slathered on a piece of canvas. How can it cost that much? From that perspective, my quest to deem art as something important seemed futile. While there were good art pieces out there, there were also not so great art pieces earning millions at auctions. And I wondered why. Why do affluent people spend millions on seemingly dull and boring paintings? Well, to understand this, we need to understand the psychology behind the hobby of collecting. We all have something we've collected as kids. For example, Beyblades, silly bands, Pokemon or cricket attacks cards, countless things. The phrase collect 'em all is well known for a reason. In fact, collecting is something that's inculcated into our habits since around 2 million years ago. Hunters and gatherers had to gather food and store it in order to sustain themselves. And that has, with time, evolved into the hobby of a stamp or coin collection today. A lot of people in this community form a sentimental or nostalgic bond with their collections. It gives them a community to interact with or to be respected or appreciated in, a goal to pursue. And just how you were revered among your classmates for having the coolest Beyblade collection, the rich and influential also yearn for that kind of pride by showing off their wealth. For them, it is often about the rarity and the historic chronicles of the painting rather than what it looks like. This is almost addictive, and hence it's not a surprise why the rich continue to invest big bucks in exorbitant art collections. But even though we understand the psychology of collecting, the prices at which these paintings are auctioned are absurd and ridiculously high. The world's most expensive painting, the Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci, was sold at a whopping 450.3 million US dollars. And even though it's beautiful and unique, that's a price tag to make anyone break out in a sweat. Spending so much on art just seems too pretentious or silly, especially when pressing problems like poverty and world hunger plague the earth. Art is a job wherein the sole purpose is to create visuals for feeling good or entertaining oneself. This must obviously be the most pointless and unhelpful line of work out there. When the world is dying around you, is art really worth it? But you see, the world has always been ridden with problems. Yet, visuals and music date back almost 40,000 years. Newer excavations keep bringing to light ancient cave paintings and sculptures. History and culture without art is close to nothing. This is because art is an essential ingredient to the empowering of people's hearts. When activists show children suffering from poverty and malnutrition, this is the art that pulls at the heartstrings of society and thus drives change. Art creates and molds dialogue. Artists are the first to criticize everything, from war to consumerism, and hence catches the attention of the masses. This is art creating a difference in society and driving hearts to reach out for those in need. As one learns more about a topic, their personal perspective on it changes too. But an art piece acts as a mirror. Your perception of it depends on your individual cultural context, social status, and immediate bias. The thing about art is that it's so diverse that there are as many ways to understand it as there are people in the world. What may evoke an emotional response for you may simply be yet another beautiful painting for someone else. When we decide what an art piece means, we are tapping into a place in our subconscious to give it meaning. And this ends up reflecting on our daily lives. Music, video, literature, dance, art can take any form. And you can find a form of art that you enjoy. Be it a Nyan Cat meme or Marcel Duchamp's urinal art installation. I still won't pay $1 million to buy a piece of canvas with splotches of paint on it, even if I become rich enough to do so. But I will buy something to adorn my empty wall. Creativity and innovation are some of the sole reasons why you and I are sitting here today. A well-written story can reach anyone in the world. It's a way to introduce new ideas. When the going gets tough, people always turn to art for help. Songs inspire people to make it through the tough times. Literature is used to not just record problems and find the solutions, but also to distract from the difficult circumstances. Art has the power to take cultural practices from where they originate and integrate them into different parts of the world without losing its core integrity. It invokes inspiration and imagination in all our minds. Now, even though art forms a big part of our culture, why do we hear about the destruction of art? Why do we hear of books and paintings being burnt, sculptures being demolished. Hitler in his time believed that it is a mistake to think that national revolution is only political and economic. It is above all cultural. The arts were a key component and political tool of the Nazi propaganda machine. Jewish, communists, and those whose style did not suit the Nazis' tastes were prohibited and punished. Terms like degenerate art, barbarous, Jewish trash, total madness, tool of Marxist propaganda, were used to discourage anyone who critiqued Nazism. Perhaps my used palette painting would have been censored or burned in that age. The contestation of art was ultimately about power and control. So the question I'd like to ask is that if art really is so stupid, why did people of leadership like Hitler spend effort and resources on censorship of art? Isn't it just useless? But you see, he found something in art that I was still struggling to see. The power of art. Art scares people, art is strong, and art is important. Above all, art can change the hearts and minds of people all the way across the world. People like me keep going back to art because it isn't silly. Frankly, a world without art is just dull and boring. The earth without comic books, music records, and elaborate portraits is just not one worth living in. An artist can never be compared to a scientist or an engineer. Scientists contribute directly in the survival and development of our race. On the other hand, artists simply create beautiful things to entertain people. This makes the artist's role absolutely crucial because we use it to thrive in the world. Art makes existence itself tolerable and worthwhile. Art can lift spirits and cheer you up, or simply help you escape your problems for a while. And with that context, art isn't just something nice to look at or listen to. It's completely essential to our survival. And suddenly, art isn't so stupid anymore. Thank you.